Hello everyone, welcome back to Shining Brighter. My name is Nick, and today, before we get started, if you like my content, if you would like, comment, subscribe, help my channel to grow so I can reach out and help as many people as possible. Even if every message doesn't resonate, if somebody gets one positive thing out of it, that's all I can hope for. There's so much negativity in the world. I'm just trying to bring some light and happiness and support to those who need it. And it's more people than you think, and from all walks of life. But as I alluded to in my short message the other day, I'm starting a new series on traditional values. And today's the first of that series on a return to traditional values and why I think it's important. And understand that I'm not telling you that I'm right and you're wrong, or my views are the only correct ones, or you have to listen to what I say. It's not like that. That's not my style. And I think if you've watched my other videos, you know that I'm simply offering my perspectives and my view on things in hopes that I will be able to, at the very least, even just give a new perspective that might help your outlook change if you're in a negative space, and you might find something positive. So when I talk about traditional values, as far as I'm concerned, I'm referring to the way things used to be when society was far stronger, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the model that I'm discussing is perfect or the only way or anything like that. But I do believe in it, and I do believe that it's a far stronger way socially for us to be. So I'm talking about the traditional family, a mother, father, kids if they so choose, and division of roles and responsibilities. To begin with, we need to start and talk about the two people that would start a family. And traditionally that would be a man and a woman, and I understand things are much different today. And if you choose to start a family as same-sex parents, then that's your choice. And I will never tell you you're wrong or anything like that, because I'm not you and I don't know what makes you happy. But I do believe that, in a relationship, especially one that's going to have children, there has to be only one leader. And that's not because I think any sex is stronger than the other. Just two leaders doesn't work. It's too much conflict. And quite honestly, men and women were both given wonderful strengths and gifts by God that the other one doesn't have, that leads them to be more predisposed to success in different roles. And again, you choose how it works for you. I'm just stating, my beliefs and my perspectives. So before we even get to a family, we have to start with the two people involved, a man and a woman. I'm just going to use that example so I don't have to keep switching and explaining, but apply the roles as you see fit. So I have a man and a woman. They meet, and the way it used to be, there was a period of courting, where men would meet a woman and, they would take their time, and there was a lot of respect involved for each family. And, there were ways to go about asking permission for things. And I understand that modern society doesn't necessarily follow that kind of path anymore. And it's not always possible, somebody may have passed away in a family member or something like that. Whatever the case may be, estranged. But it's the courting part that is so crucial to learn about compatibility with the other person. And it goes both ways. Both the man and the woman really, really need to take the time to learn about each other and, speak openly. Communication is paramount to success. You got to speak openly about, your life path, what you're looking to do. Because if one person is looking to get married and raise a family and the other person isn't, well, clearly that's not going to pan out too well. And you're just setting up for failure. You also need to learn, little quirks, little behaviors, see what each partner is willing to do. What do they bring to the table, so to speak? And these days, unfortunately, you hear a lot, what do you bring to the table? And, a lot of it is financial based or looks based. And while those things do hold some level of importance, obviously you want to be attracted to whoever you're considering getting into a long-term relationship. And obviously financial security is a concern. They should not be the full basis for entering into a marriage. Again, if that's all you got, you're setting up to not be successful. So these days it seems a lot like, people don't take the time necessary to really get to know the person that they're looking to commit to. Or maybe, the physical attraction was really strong and you get pregnant and then you're like, oh, we got to get married because of, or whatever the case may be. That's where we start off with the decline in successful marriages. People not taking the time to court each other, to get to know each other, to learn about each other. Because, everybody these days wants everything now. They want it now. Everything's about, speed. How quick can I get it? And a lot of that has to do with social media these days. We have a continuous feed spoon-fed into our brains to keep us up to date on everything. And that leads us to applying that to our everyday life, and that's not a good thing. So when you think of it in terms of an investment, because that's exactly what it is, and that's not meant in a cold way, it's meant in the best way possible. If you're seeking to commit to somebody and enjoy a long, happy, prosperous, respectful, and successful relationship that stands the test of time, and we're talking 30, 40, 50 years of marriage, then why aren't you willing to put in 5 or 6 years of getting to know the other person and making sure that the compatibility is high so it lends to the success that you're looking for in the long-term relationship? Everybody these days 5, 6 years, seems like an eternity. It goes by in the blink of an eye. And if you take that time to get to know the person and you become so comfortable with them and you get each other, you can finish each other's sentences, you can take care of each other when you're down, you know how to lift each other up and support each other. What more do you want? I mean, so many people have this quote unquote loneliness epidemic going on, but it's because we've lost sight of what's important. We've put material wealth over true wealth, and true wealth has to do with sharing your life with another person. You and that person against the world. That person that will be there to catch you when you fall. And, the person that will support you through everything. There really is nothing better than that. So, once you've made that effort and put in the time, and you guys agree through really, really open and honest communication, because if you don't communicate, you can't have success, because things do change over time. But once you finally get to that point and you realize that you guys have something special, well then in many cases you'll move on to the discussion of moving forward by having kids to expand your family. And this is also a huge reason to go through that vetting time period where you guys really get to know each other and decide if you're truly compatible and that you want to spend your life with this person. Because then when you have kids are like sponges. They soak up everything. And no matter how young you think they are, they can see if it's good or bad. And they will adapt how they view the world by what they see from their parents. And you want that to be a strong, positive, and a loving example as possible, so that you're setting your kids up for success should they choose to want to follow the same path and have a family of their own one day. That's our job as parents. We're there to teach our kids, to show them, what we believe is the best way forward, to show them what love and respect and communication look like in a relationship, and to make the choice to show them how to honor that kind of stuff. Because they will form their relationships based on what they learned from watching you. So you see so many single parents these days because they didn't take that time to really get to know that person, because they chose, and it could be man or woman. I'm not gonna pin this on either side, because both sides have their strengths and weaknesses, and both sides have their culpability and accountability. But if you get married for the wrong reasons, whether you're trying to trap your partner because you want what they can provide for you, or whether you think you have to marry them and secure them before somebody else gets them, or if you don't know your own value, your own worth, and you don't have self-respect, and you don't think you'll ever do any better, those are all poor reasons and all points of failure. Again, remember, when you want to do this, you want to show your person that you have value and you respect yourself and you have worth, because you want to find somebody that matches that. And if you do, and you're good to your partner will be good to you. So now more than ever, with the world going the way it is, we've gotten so far away from traditional values and been indoctrinated with me. What am I gonna get? What's in it for me? I want mine. It's such a selfish, narcissistic approach to life and relationships that the failure rate is incredible. And now people are just choosing not to get married. Birth rates are slipping. And it's all because we lost sight of what's important. And what's important is that special connection with somebody, that unbreakable bond that you build by taking the time to learn about each other and invest in each other. And for anybody that doesn't have that, I feel sorry for you. And I don't mean that in a way that I'm looking down on you. I genuinely mean I feel sorry for you, because if you ever see a healthy couple and you see them laughing at their inside jokes and you can just see the genuine happiness coming from them, why wouldn't you want that? You know, people come and go in life, but it's rare that you find somebody who will be compatible and stick with you through it. So if you do find that, don't ever get complacent. Don't ever take it for granted. Don't ever think that they will be there no matter what you do to them. Because so many people think, oh, I'll cheat and I'll apologize and they'll take me back. Sorry, no matter what, respect dictates that you never take that person back, because they didn't respect you. But that's part of the trick, is fighting the temptation. Because you're going to spend a long time with people. You're going to see other people that you find attractive. But surface level attraction is pathetic compared to what you build with somebody. And sadly, all too often people find that out after the fact, and then they spend the rest of their life regretting it. And that's where a lot of society is today. People sitting in regret, people not respecting each other, people taking each other for granted. It's time to get away from that, and it's time to get back to traditional values. So I'm going to end this one here because it's already 18 minutes. But I'm going to touch more on, updating traditional values, because there's a lot of stigma about what traditional values and traditional roles means. And it does need some updating. But just remember, I see you all for who you really are. And I truly do love you all for it. Take care of somebody if you have someone special in your life, and don't let them go. I'll talk to you soon, my friends.